A very good morning to you. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Sports This Morning. It's been raining in the streets of Lagos, but we're here to keep you warm and help you enjoy the day. I'm Gerry Adebayo.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Amogbe. Let's get started with the show. Of course, we're starting with the CAF Confederations Cup. Rivers United, it will be a revenge mission for them today in Port Harcourt. And also on the program, we're talking about the CAF, the Confederations Cup, talking about the more like a cutting razor for the World Cup in 2018 in Russia. And Germany, they were able to hold on to see off Australia 3-2. That one ended.
All right, we'll leave football and go to tennis, and we'll be talking about the guys doing it right there, planning for the big one. That's Wimbledon. You have Andy Murray. He begins his title defense for the Aegon Championships, and he's hoping that the grass season will be better than the clay season for him.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. Talking about Andy Murray because of the indifferent form he started this season. All right, we'll start with Andy Murray precisely. Yeah. It's just right for us to start with that one. We know that he's actually the defending champions. You know, he's not defending champion. He talked about the fact that he's got so many, too many points to defend this year. And that world number one time is just ticking. If Novak Djokovic can find his form, you will be seeing Novak Djokovic or even Rafael Nadal taking over before the end of the year.
If Andy Murray has any strong point, I think it's this period of the season. Usually he gets to do well. He became number one not by the many Grand Slams that he won, but by the collection of ATP tournaments that he's been able to win. That has not been the case this year, and that's why a lot of people are worried, because if someone like Novak is winning Grand Slams, the lead will probably be non-existent. So we'll see how it's going to be. And like you said, look, it's counting down. It's counting the days that he remains number one, because anything might happen very soon. So he needs to start winning championships, tournaments that have high value in terms of ranking points. He needs those, and as we go to his home turf in Wimbledon, and that place, of course, has been good to him. Of course, Roger Federer will have a lot to say about that, because on the current list of men's players, Roger Federer is the most successful at Wimbledon. Then, of course, you ask me, I'm getting ahead of myself. All of this ATP tournament is all put into their preparation for Wimbledon, and they will take doing well here as a sign of what's to come when they get to the Quiz Club.
Yeah, we know that he has won this championship about 5 times. He's seeking to extend it to 6th, and if he can do that, he will know that he will be ready for Wimbledon. But if you look at Andy Murray, well, his opening round is going to be a player that is unheralded. You will say Aljas Beden, but he's also a Briton, so that'll tell you a whole lot about this lad. So you never can take anyone for granted. We'll see how it's going to happen today, but then we'll just take a listen to him now.
I mean, I was disappointed with the losing in the semi-finals, but kind of on reflection, where I was going into the event, I was not in a good place. I had played poorly in the build-up tournaments. The practice week beforehand, I was practicing a lot, but not playing well in practice. But managed to gain a little bit of confidence with each match I got through, and I think I'm starting to get the other side of what was a difficult period for me, and so long as I practice well on the grass and concentrate hard on what it is that I'm trying to do, I feel I can have a good run. I mean, it can be, but it's going to be hard. Obviously, that was the last sort of 5-6 months of 2016 were by far the best in my career. I never played that way for such a sustained period, so I know it's going to be difficult, but the fact that I've done it before, will give me confidence that I can do it again, and hopefully turn around what's been a pretty up and down start to the season. You're sliding a lot on the clay courts, and obviously you try and do that on the grass, you can pick up a pretty bad injury. you know, so sort of reminding yourself, you know, not to slide. And obviously, if you're doing that for 3-4 months in the build-up, your instinct when you're pushed out wide is to slide. So you need to stop yourself from doing that, and that's something that I try and make sure I do a lot of in the, you know, the build-up to the tournaments, just to, you know, get out of any bad habits that maybe I might have picked up during the clay season.
Yeah, just come back and start winning again. That's what is most important for Andy Murray. We'll talk about another player who has been awesome this season, talking about Roger Federer, but then he skipped the whole clay court season. He didn't really mean to skip the French Open. That's what he said, you know, when he was asked another. But then, you know, looking at his whole, I mean, what he wanted to do, what he wanted to focus on to prolong his career and all that, he wanted to just keep some of the, you know, tournaments. You understand?
And if you listen to Andy Murray, some of the things that Andy Murray said, some things begin to play on your head when you're transiting from one surface to the other. And he's telling, like Andy Murray just said, look, he's telling himself some of the things that I will naturally be cautious about when I play on clay. I have to take it off my head. When I'm playing on grass, you could slide, you could go for some shots.
The transition is not that smooth.
You know, so I guess Roger Federer didn't want all of that. I said, look, let me just skip this. I already have a Grand Slam in the bag, and I want to prolong my playing career. We have written him off so many times. We have said it here. Roger, it's time to go. Some people started calling him odd Roger, but he said, I'm still there. And he wants to preserve his career as much as possible. I think it's only fitting for us to listen to the man in his own words. We've given many explanations for why he missed the clay court season, but let's listen to Roger Federer, what he had to say about that decision and what it means to him.
To play the French Open, after all, it was just that it was extremely cold last year in April, May in Switzerland, and I remember I really struggled with my body in the cold conditions, and so that's why, for that reason, I decided not to do that clay court swing, not to be on clay in that time of the year this year, and go rather to a warmer place and still remain on the hard courts. When I